Welcome back, guys. Now here we're in another episode of us peeing together. Of course, peeing like we're here to promote, to share the excitement, and to share the experience, guys. So yeah, welcome back. Hey, welcome back to our podcast, Oshare ShoX.
Yes, this is... Man, you know what, Aaron, I'm actually thinking about this. I had this moment. I was like, yo, we're actually near the end of Wave 1.
Yeah,
this is exciting because I hope by the time that our audiences listen to this has, for those, okay, let's actually take a step back to go too fast. But if we actually take a moment to take a look at, especially for our audience that's just joining in, we actually kind of went over actually everything about kind of Visual Kei as kind of the development, the base foundation, went over the style, went over the bands that really made a difference and impact for this scene, whether it's for the style of how they dress to how their music sounds. This is pretty much at this point for our audience that's listened to us since episode 1 to now. You should at least already have a strong foundation or idea of what to expect going to the second wave.
Like because honestly, personally, I really want to get to the wave 2 as soon as possible.
Yeah,
because that's the golden era of the whole Visual Kei scene. Right?
Oh, okay. Let's actually put a preface here. We're not trying to make light of Wave 1, but a lot of what Wave 1 has done, I feel like the biggest impact that it has made for Visual Kei is actually on Wave 2. And that's kind of why Aaron's very excited for this, as am myself as well, because that's kind of where we see a lot of emphasis on kind of like what these earlier pioneering bands has done for Wave 1, and you can see like wow, there's a lot of crazy stuff that comes after with Wave 2. It's just like wow. And even with how Wave 2 is, like a lot of those bands actually made it internationally, right, Aaron?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we'll definitely cover those bands eventually over time, but we like, as Aaron said, like definitely we feel like that was definitely the golden era, because I feel like this is the point where everyone is comfortable enough to dabble into Visual Kei as a music scene, because like everyone, I feel like in this first wave we're kind of more so of like just trying things out. There's not so much because maybe people are like I don't know, maybe there's like some unknown band that's kind of like wants to get into Visual Kei and they're like, oh, I don't see a potential in it, I don't see a future in it. But maybe after they've seen obviously with X Japan, the success of X Japan, and even with like Dead End, and even bands like, especially like our last episode where we talked about Luna Sea. Definitely I feel like that's kind of where in Wave 2 we see even more bands that come out from this. It's almost like times 4, I'll say even. But before we kind of jump into kind of like that excitement train, we want to kind of go talk about another pivotal band that's very important to this Wave 2, I'll say even, right, Aaron? And I feel like for them, this is the strange part about this band. They are actually quite noticed, like they're quite well known, but at the same time, this is just my opinion, right, Aaron? I feel like not a lot of people talk about them, and I'm talking about Glay.
Yeah, of course.
Like I, as someone that listens to Visual Kei music, and especially I have heard some of these bands from this time, I actually never really, like, I come across Glay many times, but I never really know much about them. It's almost like they're kind of walking by.
Honestly, honestly, bro, you're not the only one, right? Because honestly, I've had the same question to myself, because like Glay, they not as popular, right? But like in fact they are, right? Because like when I look at the video of their live, one of their live, they held it at a stadium, right? Oh, and it's totally packed.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, oh my god, like they're so big.
Because they're actually really big, and it's almost crazy that you don't know who they are. And same with me, right?
Yeah.
But do you find that is there a particular reason why you never knew who Glay was? Was it because like you saw the name, you're like, whatever, or like is it because like it just kind of flashes through you, but you never really think twice about it?
It was not mentioned
As
so many
much?
times, not as much, right? Maybe to the people. Cause I'm sorry guys, I felt bad for saying that, right? They just seem not as popular as the rest.
All right, Glay. If anyone's in our audience is a Glay fan, you go. You can hunt Aaron down. Get him, get him. How
Yeah.
could you say that, Aaron? How could you? How could you say such a horrible thing?
Right? Well, I did listen to some of the songs. Right? Those are good songs, but like I've been maybe like call me an ignorance, right? I just like I just cannot explain to myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're like why?
Why? Like, you know that I don't come across Glay as much, right? So yeah, and then the songs are good and like
It's unfortunate.
I don't know, bro.
You know what? Aaron? I think I know what the problem was. I think because when we talk about visual K, right? At this point, for anyone that's followed X Japan or anyone that's already involved in this scene, music scene, we already have like acts like X Japan, Luna Sea, and Dead End and Bucktech and all this and all those bands. They already established the face of visual K. And when I think the problem with Glay and even with the band's presence, I think that's the key word here, is their presence is so squashed compared to like the other guys. I think about, isn't Luna Sea the same time as Glay? Practically?
Around the same time, and also like they're the same as Luna Sea. They were founded by Hide. Yeah,
I like the irony in this. It's like, okay, so pretty much you are Glay. I feel bad for Glay because technically they're in the same scope with Luna Sea.
Yeah.
And X Japan.
Yeah.
Bro, that's like two giants. You're getting squashed.
Exactly. Right, like it's very interesting, right? Like Hide, like now it explained to myself more the reason why X Japan is the center of the whole like visual K scene, and it turns out like that they did a lot of stuff for other bands, which made them very very famous, right? Like Hide, like so Glay, they were formed back in 1988 in their hometown Hakodate.
Yeah.
Right. So they did make it work in their hometown, became popular, but it's only in their hometown.
Yeah.
But once they moved to Tokyo, that's when they had a hard time to promote their band and like also like try also make a living as well. Right, so like I think like how Hide found them out is like they were on the street handing out free demo.
Just walked by randomly. It's like, hey, you know what? Help us. And I think that goes to show.
But not really. Like, I think like not help us. I think like I'm sure they didn't know that that's Hide from X Japan.
They probably
right?
don't. Yeah, they probably don't.
They might not know, right?
Yeah.
So Hide. Just saw a band giving them free demo. I'll get the free demo too if I see a band randomly like handing out free demo on the street. Oh, I'll get it. It's free anyways.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt.
Gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what he did. Like got a free demo and again show it to Yoshiki. That's good. And then like Yoshiki like they brought other staff member from his ecstasy agency, right?
Yeah.
Like to the live show or somewhere. Yeah, I think to the live show and like, they're good, they're interesting, so they sign them over to ecstasy.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's so far we talked about all this, but at the end of the day, everything like Aaron said revolves around X Japan again, and we want to kind of emphasize kind of like the importance of like how one band was able to shake the world, I guess, in the Japanese world of rock music in general, especially more in the visual K side of things. And it's I feel like that's something that as someone that's listening to music or someone that's growing older and just seeing music as a whole, that's something that has been very special about the visual K music scene, because it's almost like you're passing down generation by generation, like what you've done in the past and kind of moving it forward. versus in the West. It's not saying that that doesn't happen, but it's kind of more like I'm on my own type of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some style that you like, you may adopt it into your own, but there's no sense of like camaraderie. I think that's the biggest thing that you like about Aaron, right? It's the camaraderie between bands from different generations, different waves. At the end of the day, it all goes back to the love for music, and that style has always been kind of circling around. Someone is either like a new Visual K band shows up, they're adopting old stuff or things that we already know into their music repertoire, but all they do is kind of shape it to more of what they want, right? So I feel like that's kind of one thing that I feel like you like a lot, Aaron, right? As someone that listens to Visual K, and even for myself. And just going back to with Glay even, right? It's just crazy how it just goes back to Extra Panic. It's like we never really left.
It gave myself more understanding what made Extra Panic the center of the whole scene. They helped, at least a couple of these major bands, right? One like Lunacy, it's huge now. Right? Yeah. And Glay, like, good thing they're still active, but like they are not as big.
Yes.
Right. But like again, like it's kind of like if you look at their past life, and like holy shit, like the concert at the stadium, like full packed. So like, oh wow.
Yeah. We're, like you said, Aaron, we're not trying to make light of everyone's contribution to Visual K as a music scene, but there's just some certain bands you just can't outbeat, man. Yeah. Like it's like for a good reason, right? Not saying that Glay is bad or anything, but I feel like they're definitely overlooked. I think it's the better way to say it. It's just because like at that time, Extra Panic was still current, and even alongside with Lunacy, they're both rising at the same time, and kind of Glay kind of fell in the cracks. Not saying that they're bad, but they just don't have the same star power, I guess, as like Extra Panic and even Lunacy, right? So as Aaron said about Glay, again, I'll probably go listen to them again, but if I were to say anything for our audience out there that's listening to this right now, for Glay, I actually do know a song from Glay. This goes back near and dear to my heart. I actually watched a anime from Japan. Actually, I didn't even know it was anime, just because of of how I watched it, because it was dubbed in Chinese. I watched it that way, but then I actually didn't even know it was Japanese to begin with. And it wasn't until later when I got older, I was like, hey, I was just watching some older, I guess, like anime YouTube videos of intros for animes, I guess. And then I just somehow came across it again. I was like, oh my goodness, this is something I grew up with when I was a kid. I watched this anime. It's called Yamato Takaru. It's based off a folklore, or like pretty much like a fantasy story, where there's this character called Yamato Takaru. He fights against the eight-headed dragon, whatever that god thing was called. But Yamato no Orochi, I think that is the thing he fights. But anyways, I'm not gonna dive deep into the lore because I don't know every single thing about the lore. But what's one good thing that came out of it was like the animation was definitely like in that super 90s era. And Glay was actually singing one of the songs. It was called Rain. And the crazy thing was, like, I was like, I never thought about it too hard, but when I found out about it before this episode, I was like, oh right, I remember I came across Glay. I'm like, where was this? And I was like, right, it's from that anime that I watched when I was a kid. So definitely, for our audience out there, check out Rain from Glay. Maybe you might not vibe with maybe the anime or whatever or whatnot, but for me, that's my childhood. Like I grew up on that. I ate that stuff up. So for yourself, Aaron, so for Glay, is there a particular song that stands out to you?
Well, because I do, as I was doing some digging about the band, right, looking into the history and stuff. So also might as well you gotta listen to some of their songs. So like these three songs that stands out the most to me is one is Glorious, and second is However,
Yeah.
And the last one is Be With You.
There we go.
So yeah, those are very good songs to me. And I mean, for you guys audience out there, if you guys know more good song of Glay,
yeah.
please do comment below. Let us know the names so we can check them out. So yeah, this is one of the band that, like, you know, cannot be forgotten.
Yeah.
Right. They help with the whole scene.
Yeah.
Or they inspired a lot of bands in the future.
Yeah.
As well.
Yes, and not only that, they inspired a future generation of bands that aren't just strictly visual gay. I feel like that's kind of how it is. Just because they, like you said, Aaron, you bring up a good point. I think we, for our audience that don't know, we actually discussed behind, before we record this episode, where their music kind of gives us more of a pop kind of feel to it, where it can fit in any scenario, right? Whether it's an anime opening, a movie opening, anime ending, so their music can be found more openly. And I'm probably pretty sure for those of you out there that's visited Japan or maybe like walk across certain parts of Japan, you may actually come across a song or two with Glay. Actually, I won't be surprised, and you're probably not thinking it's Glay. So I definitely feel like Glay is definitely the overlooked band of that golden, I'll say like that pioneering era, wave one, but definitely someone, or definitely a band that's worth checking out. So for our audience out there, do us a favor, actually take a listen to Lunacy and Glay and let us know between the two, which one do you prefer? Because I'm kind of curious too, right?
Same.
Because I feel like with Glay and I guess Lunacy, they're kind of on par in terms of like you can like either or, but I'm just curious who, like, which one stands out more? Does more people lean towards Lunacy, or more, or people starting to realize the beauty of Glay? I guess is the saying. So, Aaron, do you have any final words to pass on to our audience before we wrap up this episode?
Well, I just hope that our audience out there, like, you know, keep our podcast alive, right? By recommending more bands or some more good songs for us to listen to. Yeah. So like, definitely, if you guys happen to, you know, have some great experiences with the live show, doesn't matter if it's Glay, Lunacy, The Langer, whatever, do share with us because we want to hear your stories too. Yeah, exactly. So for our audience out there that are actually Glay fans, we do apologize if we don't know a lot about the band, but I think the most important part, as I always said, and we've been hopefully trying to uphold throughout the whole podcast episodes, is like, we want to just promote experience and share our excitement together, right? That's our mission. Like, just because one person doesn't know everything, the other might know a bit more, and then the other person might be the one that knows the most, and that's kind of where we share our love together. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to this episode about Glay. If you guys love our episode today, please continue to support us. You can find us over on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We will see you guys in the next episode where we talk about the last band. This next band we're gonna talk about before we hit the wave 2. It's really good factor that you guys really need to know. Yes. So guys, stay tuned. Our next band is gonna be Kuro Yume. I have a lot of fun stories about this one. But we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you. Bye now.